1023 BXR, that is Hosier and From Eden. And Hosier, our featured artist of the day today on a Featured Artist Friday. Tracks from that band, that man, at the top of every hour, all day long. Forecast coming up in just a moment, but it is Friday. We're just after 8 o'clock, and it's time for our Friday Foodies segment. We've got some Columbia history in the studio this morning. Richard Walls of the Heidelberg joins us. Morning, Richard.
Morning, Mo. Great to be here. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning.
And the Queen is here as well. We went to Heidelberg last night and had some dinner. One of the things we noticed when we first got there and got our drinks was, the iconic cups. They're in everybody's cupboard around town, right? Everybody's got a Heidelberg cup. It's just one of those things. Do you guys update those things from regular?
We do. We do update them sometime. We did a 50th anniversary. We've done different logos, but sometimes we just stick with the tradition.
Yeah, okay. Well, why not? And tradition has worked for you for a long time. Obviously, how long? When did the Heidelberg open?
So the Heidelberg opened January 5th, 1963.
Now, we got to talk about this because you were actually raised in the industry. I mean, you grew up in Columbia. Your dad, one of the godfathers of Columbia restaurants.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed growing up Heidelberg, growing up Boone Tavern. It's been a wonderful, wonderful life.
And your dad was Dick Walls, of course, and started the Heidelberg in 1963.
1963. He started it, still 2 years into college. Started the Heidelberg, got married, had my brother and me, and the rest is history.
Very nice. We had dinner there last night, and it was just... for those who have not been to the Heidelberg, if you don't know, man, it is just comfort food. It's just it's good Americana. Is that how you would describe it?
I say Americana as one of the cooks once said, the best chicken quesadilla you can get in a Mexican or in a German restaurant.
There you go.
We do have a German worst plate, but mostly Americana food.
Yeah, and the Queen here always orders the pretzels with the cheese sauce. We had that. And I did the country fried steak, which to me, man, it was just, tasted so good. It was gone so fast. I ate that thing.
You enjoyed it.
Of course, family tables everywhere. You had an interesting thing. What did you have? That Kevin's Wrap?
Kevin's Wrap. I want to know who Kevin is. Did he make that?
Kevin is Kevin Burge. He came up with that, and his philosophy was, if you put cheddar cheese, fried chicken, ranch dressing, and bacon on anything, people will eat it.
And it's true. Bacon makes everything better.
You enjoyed it.
I did.
It was good stuff. Of course. Let me just ask you. You run a restaurant, but what's your favorite breakfast food to make for the family? Do you ever like throw breakfast or brunch down? And is there a Walls family? Man, this is the dish that we serve when we're getting together and having a.
I mean, I can throw down a pretty mean omelet, and I kind of honed those skills at Boone Tavern at Millstone Lodge, where we might be a little short-staffed at the lake, and you would manage, you would bus tables, and I always loved cooking omelets.
What's the biggest challenge of running a restaurant in Columbia? Now, people should know that you've been running restaurants for a long time. You're the president of our local chapter of the Missouri Restaurant Association as well.
I would say what a busy restaurant is a great fun restaurant to run. A slower restaurant, when you kind of start thinking like, okay, what do we need to do to increase sales? How do I keep everyone motivated on a slower night? Hopefully we don't have too many of those, but I think that's the toughest challenge, is just making sure that whether it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, everything goes well.
Y'all were busy last night.
Yeah, it was good. It was a really good night last night, and that gets you hyped up. So it creates energy, and then you'll be busy, and then it'll lull. You might get busy again, but you have to stay the course. You have to continue doing the things that every customer expects.
Good stuff. We're talking with Richard Walls of the Heidelberg. And I'll tell you what, Richard, we got to take a quick break here. I want to pay some bills. We'll come back. We'll talk some more. We'll get Beth's forecast and discuss some of the iconic dishes at the Heidelberg and other things about Columbia restaurants. It is Friday Foodies on 1023 BXR, and we'll be right back.
1023 BXR. Invite
1023 BXR. New music from the Rolling Stones. What year is this? That is Mess It Up. All right, it's 8:22 now, Friday morning, and Friday Foodies continuing. We've got Richard Walls from the Heidelberg Inn, and while the music was playing, we were reminiscing about old times at the Heidelberg, and it used to be one of the places where I would take my first dates, go get some dinner there, get a picture of Lowenbrau Dark, and it was always a great place at the Heidelberg. Richard, you... there's a lot of history behind the Heidelberg, and not all of it is great. You guys had a fire a couple of years ago. How many years ago has that been?
2003, right before school started, August 2003, we had a fire, burned the whole restaurant down. The best thing was we added a rooftop patio. We were able to redesign some things to increase efficiencies, and thank goodness we'd paid our insurance bills, and it all worked out.
Like a phoenix, you rose out of the ashes, and the Heidelberg lives. And now, recently, there was a fire right next door, too, right, at Noodles Company?
There was a fire next door at Noodles Company.
That scared the daylights out of you?
Got a phone call in the morning from my brother saying there was fire at Noodles, and so that caused the power to go out, and the fire department came down, and I walked through with the health department. On a Sunday morning before 8 a.m., I managed to meet the assistant fire chief. Although the great thing was we booked his retirement party the next week, and also the building inspector and health inspector, and we passed all three, and we were open that day. So
wow.
We're still going, and everything's wonderful.
Richard Walls of the Heidelberg is joining us, Friday Foodies, and talking about Columbia restaurants, Columbia food. You know a lot of the restaurants around town, obviously a lot of the restaurant owners. A lot of them worked for you.
A lot of them worked with us. I've had a lot of great friends through the Heidelberg, Boone Tavern, or other restaurants, and also the Mid-Missouri Restaurant Association. So,
because the last couple of weeks, we've had people on this feature that have worked with you. So Mark Sultrup last week.
Mark Sultrup worked at Boone Tavern with us. I mean, we've been honored to have some Columbia icons work with us.
And then the week before that, we did Lee Street Deli, and Richard King was talking about you.
Richard King was a manager when I was a dishwasher back in the day.
Something else.
Addison Sophia's Megan Rowe with D. Rose. So we've been blessed with a lot of great people we've gotten to work with.
Who else out there in the Columbia restaurant community is doing it right, in your opinion? I mean, is there a place out there that you're thinking, man, these people are killing it?
I mean, I think we've just listed a lot of them right there. I mean, I mean, you look at Shakespeare's, you look at Addison's, Sophia's, D. Rose,
all people I'm hoping to have on this features at some point in time during this. But that's good. Do you have a dish in town that's not at the Heidelberg that maybe is your favorite or that you think is particularly well put together?
You know, I love going out to Jazz and getting the like the chicken a la mer. I'm drawing a blank on this early in the morning. But I went to Glenn's the other day and had the jambalaya, and it was phenomenal.
Always good.
Usually Addison's. I think sometimes I'll get the. You got to get the nachos Bianco.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Some of those iconic dishes. Richard, if you were talking to somebody who is just going to open up a brand new restaurant, they've never been in the business before, they've never opened a restaurant, what was a piece of advice you might give to that person?
Two things. You got to have revenues, you got to have capital, and you got to manage your expenses. Or three things, I guess.
Okay. So it's really just about the finances and about making sure that you keep solvent.
Those are, obviously you have to take care of the customers, you have to take care of your employees. You have to create a great culture that people want to come back for. The staff, they'll also bring back the customers.
Yeah. Now, Columbia's becoming, I think, a destination for people that want good food. And I think that we have so many great restaurants.
We've been blessed. Yeah, we have every category, different ethnicity. I think there's a lot of modern. You get a little bit of everything in Columbia.
We were talking off the air about how we'd put together a list of local restaurants, and there were over 60, we're thinking maybe 70 or more locally owned 1, 2, 3 location places just here in Columbia.
Yeah, you just have a little bit of everything from like Shakespeare's Pizza Tree to steak. You got Chris McDee's, you've got CC Broiler.
So many
Then
great
you
places.
have like
Yeah.
different like Flyover,
Like a
Cafe
who's
Berlin. So
who.
I mean, you can kind of feel whatever your personality, mood, cuisine, atmosphere. Columbia has it.
It's tough, if you go out to dinner once or twice a week. It's like a year between visits to some of your favorite places.
The key is just to keep going out often, please.
There you go. Exactly. Richard Walls of the Heidelberg joining us on Friday mornings, our Friday Foodies segment. Appreciate you coming by and talking with us. This has been a joy.
Mo, I appreciate Robin. It's wonderful to be here. I mean, we're blessed with Columbia icons like you two in this wonderful station.
Well, thank you much. We will take a break here, come back after we pay some bills. But I've got music from the Killers on the way and Glass Animals. Richard, have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Mo.
See you at the Berg.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now